So there's always this moment that happens between the time that I click go live and the time that the actual Facebook screen opens, and I know that I'm live. But I learned that from the moment I touch go live, I am broadcasting. Good morning for me. This is Sunday, February 2nd. Outside, a gorgeous, cold Florida day. The sun is shining, there's a breeze, and I think when I walked the dogs earlier, it was 53 degrees. So this morning, I woke up, and I guess I wasn't, for whatever reason, balanced. Maybe some sugar that is usually not on my diet that I ate yesterday. I had strange dreams. Um, Still, I wake up around 5 and I begin the morning with meditation. I sit myself up. I did my 45 minutes meditation this morning, and coming out of meditation, still feeling a little uneasy, like an irritability in the background. And then I notice what the mind is doing. So I'm not feeling great uh, physically, emotionally, and the back end of my mind, the subconscious mind, is already searching for explanations. It is looking for what is going on. It's interesting that when you become aware of the process, it's really curious to see what the mind brings up. So I noticed that because I'm somewhat cranky and irritable, I'm almost searching for the things that irritated me in the past, right? Looking for old patterns. And I recognize that's really, it's not me. There's this sensation in the body, a discomfort that is taking place. And with that sensation in the body, thoughts come up. They say, what's wrong? Like, how do we explain what's wrong? Like, who upset her, right? Who did this to her? And I'm all of a sudden thinking about a conversation that I had a week ago with a friend that maybe didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, or an incident at Whole Foods. And the mind is going to all these places to confirm and affirm my irritation. Oh, this is it, right? And when I think about what happened on that conversation, what happened at Whole Foods, which were all really very minor incident, of course, that gets me going even more into the direction of irritation. And it's almost like I'm watching a movie that is being screened for me, and it's taking place in my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, who is in charge? Because at that moment, certainly I was not in charge. So, in today's meditation, I would like to explore with you a process of reflection with this concept of who is in charge. I hope you enjoy it. I, as always, ask you to be kind to me and make a comment, even if you watch this later. It is a gift that I'm giving, my time, my effort. It actually costs me money to have the ability to broadcast through Facebook like this. And I know many are watching because I can see later the amount of views on the video, but just be kind to me and say something. Thank you. Hi, I didn't like it, whatever it may be. Um, I hope I hear from you. So, with no further ado, I'd like you to find yourself a comfortable position. If you're lying down and you're the kind of person that just falls asleep, perhaps lying down is not the best choice for you today. simply a comfortable position that allows you to relax and stay aware in focused relaxation. So soon the bell will sound. It indicates the beginning of the practice. And I invite you to gently close your eyes. Or if your practice is open eyes, that's of course okay. And as the bell sounds, imagine the sound of the bell an invitation for relaxation. Bring your attention to your breath as it is, wherever you may notice it in your body. And simply follow the breath, perhaps in the chest as it rises and falls, maybe in the abdomen. Simply noticing, allowing the mind to come into this focused place on the breath, the attention, the awareness, resting there. And now let us invite relaxation into the body while the mind remains aware and relaxed. Perhaps we begin at the top of the head, and where the awareness rests, relaxation follows. Relaxing the top of the head, relaxing the face muscles, noticing the jaws loosening, opening, perhaps inviting a gentle parting of the lips. And be curious, try to place the tongue behind the upper teeth and see if that creates even more relaxation in the jaws, in the body. Inviting a softening to the neck, to the throat, an opening. Now gliding the awareness from the shoulders down the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, all the way to your fingertips. Notice as you bring awareness to the chest, each in-breath an invitation for even more relaxation. Each out-breath sends relaxation throughout your body and your mind. Now the abdomen, the lower back, relaxed. As relaxation goes downward, engulfing the pelvis area, sinking into the surface on which you're lying or sitting in relaxation. The upper legs, the back of the thighs releasing. The knees, the back of the knees loosening. The lower legs softening. Let relaxation flow to the ankles, the feet, the toes, the arches of the feet. Relaxing. Let the body become happy in relaxation as the mind opens more and more in curiosity to the infinite possibilities as we allow ourselves a change and transformation. just for a moment, resting in the awareness of relaxation. Perhaps imagine yourself now. Just imagine walking through a beautiful garden. Perhaps it's spring or fall. The temperature is simply perfect. Imagine the sound of birds in the trees. Imagine the sound of your footsteps on the gravel of the path. And you're looking for a place to sit. Maybe it's early morning or late afternoon. There is no one else in the garden, as if you are having a private screening of this beautiful space. Perhaps you choose to go and sit on the bench overlooking the stone fountain, or maybe under the willow tree. A small meadow spreads all around you, wildflowers and butterflies. Or perhaps you prefer to continue in walking relaxation, lulled by the movement of your own body as it gracefully moves through space. Whatever it is that you are choosing for yourself at this time, let that experience be yours fully and completely. How relaxed you're feeling, how beautiful nature is, how incredible that you are taking this time for yourself, a time for reflection in relaxation. And then ask yourself this question: who is in charge? Who is in charge? And let it percolate for a moment, simply noticing what comes up for you. There is no right or wrong. There is simply what is coming up in the mind as I grow silent for just a moment. Can you contemplate this notion that we are driven by our past conditioning? Very often by conditioning that took place long ago in our childhood. As children, so open to the suggestions that we receive from our parents and our teachers. Creating beliefs that then affirm our emotions and thoughts again and again in our adulthood. And then who is in charge? If the person in charge is that 4-year-old child that made conclusions about herself or himself, about who they are, how they are supposed to be? Are you letting a 4-year-old be in charge of your life? You can imagine seeing yourself as the parent to a 4-year-old, whether you have children or not. And the 4-year-old is running the show. It is 8 p.m., it wants ice cream. It is 7 a.m., it wants coffee and cigarette. It is Monday, and it wants to go to the movies, not to school, not to work. You just woke up, and it says no meditation. I'm hungry. What a cute 4-year-old. What a difficult being in the back of your mind. Who is in charge? Take a moment and notice your patterns, your habits, of your emotions, of your thoughts, of your actions. And as you notice that, have the awareness and ask yourself, who is in charge? As I grow silent for just a few moments. You have a conversation with a friend and you feel that she is criticizing you. Next, the body tenses up. Anger and frustration is bubbling up. And you know that feeling. You have been there before. Again and again. And so you say a harsh word. And then the friend, feeling attacked, says another harsh word, this one to you. And you have created a pattern from the past that perhaps it was your critical mother, critical father, or your critical teacher. There is no difference between our addiction to coffee, our addiction to sugar, and our addictions to a certain way of feelings and beings. Sending us backwards again and again. Take a moment and notice how unpleasant it is to be in this place when you are not in charge. And let's not stay there in that unpleasant space. Let's reflect and contemplate on the alternative. What if You take charge of the mind. What if you create an awareness for habits of thoughts, emotions, and actions that have been running as a program in the background? What if we create a new program, a better one? How would that feel? See yourself this way. Run through a day in your life. You wake up in the morning, and perhaps instead of checking your phone or turning on the TV for the news or stumbling your way for the coffee to be made in the kitchen, perhaps you do something different. Perhaps you start your day with meditation, and in the state of relaxation, you invite yourself into a different state of being. Perhaps you start your day by seeing yourself in charge, not caught up in the old program, becoming the observer of you and noticing. Noticing when something doesn't feel right. Where does your body send your mind? And instead, take charge of the mind and you decide. You decide where the body goes. You choose the thoughts that come up in the mind. You recognize your ability to be responsible for your emotions. You stop looking for excuses. This one did this to you. Your mother did that 40 years ago. You had a traumatic experience when you were little, a dog attacked you, and you have a fear of dogs ever since. And of course, you see all the terrible dog stories that show up on the news, on your feed, on your computer. And you say no more. I am no longer interested. Take a moment and reflect on how that feels. And I can tell you, it feels uncomfortable at first, and then still uncomfortable at times. But this is your cue. As you notice a discomfort in the body, in the childhood mind, if the 4-year-old is rebelling and saying, but I want to, but I want to. If the body says, but give it to me, but give it to me. And you notice the discomfort that it brings, and you sit with it with awareness, with your breath, and you choose differently. You choose what is truly nourishing and supporting for you. And you know that as you choose what is truly nourishing and supporting for you, This is the pebble effect. The ripples in the pond. Those closest to you benefit. Those closest to them in the outer circle benefit. And we benefit more and more people as we become closer to the true selves. Not the old program, the one that's been running for years, but the new program that you are in charge of, that you are coding your life for, that you're joyfully contemplating right now as you sit comfortably, relaxed in the state of meditation, in your spot in the garden. Feel it fully and completely. A sense of connection, a joy of awareness and realization. You are in charge. You are in charge. As you take charge of your mind, transforming your life, and bringing great, genuine happiness to yourself and to others. It's a process that requires your attention and intention. It requires your love. Cherish it and nourish it as you become all that you can be, in charge of the new program. Take a moment or two until the bell will sound and see yourself this way, no longer bound by old habits and patterns. A freedom of choice that you already have, simply bringing it into the surface, into your heart, into your everyday life. How wonderful does that feel? Whether you're walking in the garden or you found a place to sit, let the feeling of how wonderful it feels wash all over you as I grow silent. Let the sound of the bell be an invitation now, as the practice is being completed, for gentle movement in the body, for slowly opening the eyes and returning to this present moment. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me, whether it's now or later. I truly appreciate it. Play with this thought. Who is in charge? Take charge of your mind and transform your life. And until we meet again, namaste.